Ah, excellent. I appear to be here. Hello, everybody. My name is Alex, known on the internet as Crowapocalyptic, as in a crow that is apocalyptic. Um, I am streaming 80 Days, which is a fun little interactive fiction-y game, loosely based on Jules Verne's Around the World in 80 Days. I played this game for the first time yesterday when this slot opened up, and someone suggested that I play. So, without further ado, let's go. Okay, London, 1872. I have entered into the service of a new gentleman. It would seem he is a gambling man. Let me know if the game audio is too high. It should be alright, I just tested it, but... I believe this was originally a mobile game that was then later ported to the computer because it is so good. And I must say that from what I played of it yesterday, it does seem quite expansive and story-rich. Story-rich. It's a nice buzzword. Ah, and Elias has donated 50 C's, whatever that is, for each death James had in StairQuest. And he says it was an awesome stream. I'm sure it was. I was setting up. I'm actually really sad to have missed that one. I wanted to see what StairQuest was all questing about stair-like. So, let us begin. My master returned home from the Reform Club with a strange gleam in his eye. Passepartout, said he, we are going around the world. Pack my hunting rifle and my evening jacket. There is not a moment to waste. You, Passepartout, now have funds. I'm going to guess that's pronounced Passepartout because I believe I heard it that way one time. If I am wrong, please let me know. But, like that's a real name, come on. If that's a real name, I'm sorry. Oh. Sweeping. Oh. Okay, I totally missed this, my first game. I did not know you could grab stuff at Fogg's apartment. Phineas Fogg, I believe. Okay, no rifle. Whatevs. Oh, wait, I bet I can put the train tables back now that the roots have happened. Yeah. Yeah. I know how this works. I mean, that seemed to work, yesterday when I played my first game. So, onward to Paris. So yeah, this stream is only going to be an hour long. So I am going to see how far I can get. You know, try to do a real race around the world in 80 days. Or an hour, as it were. It took me about 2 hours bumbling through my first time, so I imagine if I'm trying to go quickly, not so quickly as to skip the lovely writing, but, you know, it'll be fun, like a race. The Amphitrite Express rattled along narrow-gauge rails to Dover, where its fins extended and it plunged directly into the channel. Monsieur Fogg made no remarks as the dark water passed against our windows. I thought it was so marvelous at the time, but how many marvels were still to come? Do-do-do. Yeah, this game takes some steampunk stuff, which was in Vern originally, but this amps it up in a kind of cool way. If you like your steampunk, and if you don't, you know, it's not very intrusive, which is nice. We splashed up on the rails at Calais, and closed the remaining miles to Paris Gare du Nord quickly. Oh boy. Yeah, French pronunciation. Not my strongest suit. According to today's paper, Monsieur Fogg remarked, "The Orient Express now runs as far as Bucharest." That's good to know. Mayhap we should go through Bucharest. If anyone does have any route suggestions, please let me know. I do have the chat open in a little window here, so I should be able to engage with you all. Fogg says the .45 caliber rifle could earn us well here. Earn us well. What an interesting thing to say. $590. Yeah, let's sell that. Crackers. Yeah, crackers. Driving cap. I'm of the mind to just buy everything. Yeah, and since that's worth 1,900 pounds in Copenhagen, that could be quite the thing, as we shall be going through Copenhagen. Wait, no, I don't know if we will. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I think I am going to try going north unless someone has a better idea, because Scandinavia is fun, and I read something about Norwegians living underground the first time I played through the game, and I kind of want to see what's up about all that. The Exposition Universelle sprawled over the grounds of the purpose-built Palais du Camp de Mars. Hot air balloons sailed gently across the sky, and the powdery light of the... Oh, come on. Yabluk jock of candles gleamed invitingly. Yes, I was flooded with memories of the siege of Paris and my own small part in it. When was Paris sieged, I wondered. It was hard to believe that it was only a year ago. I had been... blockade runner. Sounds fun. I was that, whatever that is. Before my first run, an elderly artificer with a copper lily pin gleaming upon her collar had explained how to operate the burner valves and vents, and how to read the wind currents spitting into the air. I had been fearful, so listened closely. I always pick the options where he listens to stuff, because that could be useful, I bet. Alas, as an artificer, I cannot involve myself in matters of war, she said, flatly, adjusting the lie of her copper lily pin. But you, poor boy, only wish to take the package of love letters to your sweetheart at Poitiers. Ah, I understand you, Madam Artificer. Wink, wink. Eh, I'm being very clever here. I, she continued grimly, helping to load another parcel of photographically reduced military documents and strategic communiques into the balloon's gondola, and taking pity on the poor love-struck boy caught in the midst of war. Back then, I thought the siege would go on forever. That seems like something that a young man would think. Back then, I thought the siege would go on forever. Endless hungry and artillery-filled days, a terrible starving stalemate which would persist until we died of thirst or tuberculosis, French and Prussian alike. Okay, so it was the Prussians. Good to know, good to know. But Paris has surrendered, and the next month the Prussians rode their horses through the city in victory, while we ate Bismarck's grain and meat, as promised in the armistice. I looked at the gleaming, peaceful streets of Paris now and saw only war and siege. I snatched the Prussian airships from the air. I wonder what that means. I am going to click that. I still don't understand what this means. We'll say, I scrubbed the smoke from the sky. I like the poetry there. And then I can either resurrect the Paris of my childhood, but no, this is a game about progress. So I doused the fires. This is practicality and progress. We are not dreaming of the idle fancies of a young boy in Paris, the Paris of the past. We are going to the future with steam engines and submarines and all of that lovely Jules Verne stuff. Oh, okay. And now I resurrect the Paris of my childhood, too. Okay. This is one of those illusionary choices, I guess. I shouldn't have hedge so hard into the thing where I said that that wasn't what I was going to do. I promised myself then that this is how I would remember Paris. Yeah. Hi, Liam. Hi. Okay, let's look at the route options we got here. Last time I just went through Russia by the Orient Express. Let's go up to Amsterdam. Okay, we'll have to stay the night. Works fine for me. So, hotel, plus 1 day. Okay. We will be comfortable here, Monsieur Fogg remarked, but traveling overnight will often be more efficient. So we must board the longest journeys available, I say. That makes sense. Perhaps, he replied. Okay, yeah. Let's just get out of Paris. My first game, I went to this long kind of, yeah, we'll hire a second car. I'm gonna need 2 bags anyway. Ah, and see, our driving cap is already going to make this easier. Haha, what a silly little man with goggles. Nah, Liam, I'm going to save the firearms for this evening's stream, when I'm going to be playing a spooky game about ghosts. It's not about ghosts. You'll have to tune in to find out what it is about. I'll be streaming again tonight at, check the schedule, I don't know. We found a member of the Coachmakers Guild to carry us to Amsterdam. She loaded the cases onto the back, stoked the boiler, and took off at high speed along the coastal road, swerving around each corner with considerable skill, and I think a touch of showmanship. I clung on tight. This would be a terrific ride. Let's talk. Probably not going to do too much of the talking because I do want to see how far I can get. Let's check out Copenhagen because we can sell that wine for some fat dollars when we get there. Local car hire. Okay, so same diff. I don't care about any of these places, but... Oh, Christiana. Okay, I care a little bit about that. Airship, the Northern Lights. I do love the ship names in this. They're all very fun. Very, yes, what I said the first time. Fun. Once or twice, the metal wind wheel lifted the chassis clear from the road on one side, only to bump down after a chuff and puff of the engine. We must have topped 40, perhaps even 50 miles an hour. A fabulous way to travel. So much better than some kind of weird boat. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I'm not reading everything. Ooh, it said the King of Sweden. Maybe we get to meet the King of Sweden. Yeah, Allison, this game is really good. I'd been hearing nothing but praise for it, but I was really impressed when I actually sat down and played it with the amount of content that's in here. Like, I could definitely get, you know, a good number of hours of fun out of this. That's what I think. Yeah, and I think it would play fine on the phone. Like, it's, you know, great using a mouse and keyboard, but none of this couldn't be done with a simple little touch interface. Right, I always buy the timetables. I bought the shaving kit last time, and that did nothing. So I'm not going to buy it. Okay, I don't think I'm going to buy the tulip bowl because even though it is worth a lot in Athens, because I don't think I'm going to be going through the Mediterranean. Yeah, we'll get some dates and figs. And we'll get some air sickness pills. Yeah, and the way these lines are drawn across on this this map is it's just appealing. You know, it reminds you of one of them old adventure filmy things. Although I've never seen that in an actual period film, only in modern recreations of such things, like your Indiana Joneses. Oh, I've got to sell that bottle of wine. Wait, I'm not in Copenhagen. Right, I'm in Amsterdam. Getting ahead of myself. Yeah, we're going to Copenhagen, man. Tomorrow at 8 a.m. Very good. Though the people of Amsterdam move about its canal-side streets with a sense of optimism and good cheer, I felt no pressing need to linger. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's already 6:20. I'd kind of like to get out of Europe. No, not exploring. I don't need to see no other routes. Onward. Yeah. Hire a second car. I found money was fairly easy to come by my first playthrough of the game. If you make a couple of detours to sell some stuff for an obscene amount of money, it seems to work very well. Okay, so that little text said we just hired the same driver as before, but I don't feel like talking. Oh, I get to read the newspaper. I don't think I ever actually did that this time. Yeah, people going to the North Pole. I do forget when this game is supposed to take place. I'm assuming late 19th century. Yeah, say it was electrical mechanism. The wheel. I do enjoy this bit. The wheel was to be turned rapidly at all times to release steam into the pistons. It's a nice little subversion of how the old wheel works on a real car. That's Mr. Fogg's hearts, which I guess represent how happy and healthy and gentlemanly he is. As his valet, it is our job to keep him as such. Based on my first playthrough, I'm pretty sure there's a way you can hook up with him as his valet. I did not manage to do so, but that is something I would like to see. This game is actually very nice in its progressiveness, despite its basis in a more racist and sexist time period. It makes a lot of efforts to really flesh out people and not fall prey to the kind of exoticism that the original work, which I haven't read, but I saw like a really long movie version of it, starring Pierce Brosnan, I believe, as Phineas Fogg. So I feel qualified to talk about it. But yeah, very unracist and unsexist, which is nice. Okay, Copenhagen, a few hours to spare, so we wandered to the market district. Tivoli Gardens, we observed a group of young men and women pushing a mix of penny farthings and older, rusted bone shakers in the direction of a church. That is a most strange religious observation. They will have a long way to carry their bicycles. Yeah, I don't... So I guess we're making a bet with Mr. Fogg. I ran across a couple of these in my first playthrough, because he is a betting man. He did, after all, take a bet to go around the world in 80 days. Okay, I guess this is like a motif. Because in my playthrough, he made me box a boxing champion. So I think he just makes you compete in all of these things. Of course, an interesting note going back to kind of the race and gender stuff is that the player character, I think, is supposed to be a person of color. Well, it's racially ambiguous at least, but based on some of the dialogue options, that's the sense I'm getting. It's sort of a Big Trouble in Little China thing where the ethnic sidekick turns out to be the real hero of the story, and the cool white savior is just kind of a bumbling jerk. So I am competing in a bicycle contest here. I find it fun to just play this game like I like doing everything, because that seems fun. I didn't lose, I get to pick that. That's great. I love narrative choices like that. But I didn't win. Anti-monarchist dissidents, eh? I lost money, right. But my relationship with Fog has improved. Okay, let's explore, because I don't know where we're going to go from here, so let's find out. Yeah, let's head north. Let's go to the market. Yeah, sell that expensive wine. I don't think we're going to Bucharest, but we might make a detour for that, so I'll pick up the drinking horn and the cowboy boots just in case. So let's look where we can go here. I did set up a little globe to my left, but I could not get it on camera, but I do have a really big globe that's just like right here. Hey, globy. I was gonna do a whole like animation with the globe spinning fading into the game, but my computer crashed, so I got scared of it overheating like it did last year when I spent like 3 hours trying to stop my computer from overheating before I settled down and played a nice little visual novel. Let's go to Stockholm. You know, in honor of Liam's recent journeys to the Nordic lands. That's the last rewind there in chat for anyone who doesn't know. He recently went to Scandinavia and had a good old time. Okay, and here's a mechanic where we can, when like certain transport things are not leaving as quickly as we would like here we could pay £500 to have the thingy leave tomorrow. Not worth it in my book. So we'll just rest a couple days. Yeah, let's go exploring. I had my pocket picked. Copenhagen. Man, you'd think the, man, I hear church bells outside. That is new. I mean, there's a Baptist church next door, but usually they're just drumming a lot. But I hear like old school church bells out the window. Is it like some church bell day? I really don't know. Okay, still gotta, let's see. How much would it cost to make it leave early today? Still 500. That's a thing I noticed, is that the price doesn't go down as it gets closer. Yeah, we'll start some shirts. But I feel like there are probably some min-max strategies to this game that can get you around the world real fast, real cheap, which I kind of do want to dive into later. Oh, and here's another thing where the various wardrobe sets you have will reduce the impact of the various travel methods on Mr. Fogg's heart value there. So I always just buy all of everything. And by always, I mean the one time I played this. Well, I could see his impatience. I'm a little impatient because we're still just in Western Europe. We've got to, oh, dearie me. Yeah, I'll just read the newspaper. Oh, thank you. I had no idea that, it's Phileas Fogg, not Phineas Fogg. Right. It's one of those Rudyard Kipling things where it's a name I have never heard before, but like one guy has it. No one came to speak to us. Come on, let's go. Okay, I went to the bridge. Ooh, I found a box. At the very center was a brass globe thing. I looked into the globe. Okay, this is not going fast, but like some kind of steering thing, I guess. I'm not reading all of this. I tried adjusting the stylus on. I think maybe we're going to crash into a thing and we're steered by a weird boat. Steered by a weird boat. Wow. Me talk good. Oh, and here's a little button, which I missed, which you can, little comb button you can press to groom Mr. Fogg, and that'll raise his hearts. He really is kind of a prick, but he's fun. Oh no, I changed the controls so we went to the wrong place. Yeah, I'm not telling him that. Whoops. I jumped ashore, and I guess the boat is... boat's gonna hit the thing. Sure. I buffered the boat with my feet. Oh, that seemed to work. We will have to explore Helsinki to find an onward journey. It is a funny fact that I believe we were trying to get to Stockholm. Instead, we got to Helsinki. And the Stockholm Syndrome is also sometimes known as Helsinki Syndrome because apparently people do not know the difference between Nordic countries. Another fun fact about Finland. The Finnish language actually does not share any linguistic roots with the other Nordic language. It's like connected to Turkish or something. It's its own weird Indo-European branch thing. Yep, that's me, Mr. Half-Remembered Trivia. Anyway, stony-faced official who prodded us in the shoulder. I smiled at him and he grimaced in return. What the hell, he continued, are you doing in Helsinki? I explained that we were going around the world. All the way around it, he inscribed a circle into the air. That is the intention. Which way? Whichever way is the fastest. In that case, do not go into Russia, he said after much computation. Why not? Russia's a place of czarist bootlickers and imperial lackeys, he nodded once. On your journey, if you see any Russians, turn the other way. I said I would. Just appease people. It's just good advice. Let's see what's at the market. Ooh, shortbread biscuits. Oh, those are good. Love some of those right now. Oh, hey, the Kalevala. You know. Yeah, let's grab that. I still need to read that one. I'll get to it someday, I promise. Yeah, not going to Odessa, but I am going to be in the cold, yes sirree. Oh, and we'll grab some biscuits, too. Yeah, I do like how there isn't much of an inventory. Oh, good. My fact about Finnish is correct. Thanks, Liam. Oh, damn it! I just unplugged my monitor. Give me a second here while it boots back up. Sit in the dark. Okay, where am I going? Sure, we'll go to Tromoso. That seems pretty far. On a Nordic passenger train. Yep, as we can see, the fur-lined boots are helping us out. Oh, and that little thing tells us how many suitcases we can carry. I think I was saying that I like how the inventory system doesn't have a hard limit on how much stuff you can carry. You just have to carry more suitcases. Reminds me of all of that baggage that they have in Darjeeling Limited. Of course, that's a joke because it's emotional baggage from their father. It's a great little visual pun. Anyway, on our compartment on the route from Helsinki to Tromsø was pleasingly partially occupied by a pair of blonde Finnish giantesses. I'm going to imagine those as mythical giantesses. Liam says you can't get a train there, but this is the steampunk past, so we totally can. So let's say he was unruffled. Settle himself, dust removal. They giggled or chuckled. Okay, yeah. These giants. I'm just going to look out the window. Actually, no. I'm going to go to the restaurant car. Yeah. Have some chilled wheat beers. I don't know why I would want a cold wheat beer in such northern place at Italy's. You can zoom out with the mouse wheel and see the whole globe. The globe I have on my desk looks a little bit like this, but it is beige. Sorry, not on the desk. It's actually a freestanding globe. Yep, a freestand. Oh, you can see the globe. That's good. It's a freestanding globe. So it looks like that except beiger. Excuse me, remarked one of the two blonde women. You have not introduced yourself. I thought perhaps we should. My name is Sana, And this is Rika. Apologies, my ladies. Rika thought it was perhaps the English way. You're English, are you not? Mademoiselle, I am French. You are both Finns? We are, Sana declared proudly. We will never be Russians, Rika added. Oh, well, but you're not Swedes, since Liam was just talking about the confusion between Nordic countries. That's good. Swedish, Sana asked. Do we look Swedish? Yeah, I'm going for this. I find Swedes and Finns look very similar. This is, oh, they were eating ice cream in Tromsø. In this time of year, wow. That's something. That is quite an ignorant thing to say. Yep, it sure is. So what can you tell me about Tromsø? It's a friendly enough place if you have friends there, but I wouldn't visit as a stranger. Then perhaps you will have to be our friends. You'll get by. You have a sympathetic face. And where are you ladies traveling to? All the way to Tromsø. We were going on holiday, and it seemed the furthest place we could go to. Our funds are rather limited, you understand. And you travel unaccompanied? I'm not just giving them money. That seems, Ooh, I'm organized. We are traveling with each other, she replied. We are old friends. With that, Rika stood up, announcing she was hungry, and she and her friend left the compartment. Oh dear, his heart value is real going down. I guess that's what happens when you're in, young, Oh, and Liam says, definitely visit as a stranger. Well, I guess a lot has changed since the steampunk past with the Russians trying to annex and all of that stuff. I'm gonna keep talking to these ladies because I think it's kind of funny. They seem to rebuff me. That is, until the moment Monsieur Flogs slipped out into the corridor for a brief constitution, whereupon Rika left immediately forward. But tell me, we are fascinated, she began. From the look on Sana's face, they were truly of one mind. And Liam also says, do not go there if your funds are limited. Good to know. Good to know. Yes, mademoiselle, I asked. This Monsieur Fogg of yours, Sana says. What is the connection between you two? We cannot guess. Connection? I do not follow. You don't seem to like each other. You never speak. Well, he rarely speaks. Though when he does, it is usually of indispensable import. But you are not friends. We are closer than friends, I told them, and left my explanation at that. The women looked no wiser from my remarks, but they let the matter alone, and soon my master returned. Quite frankly, I was more than grateful when Tromsø station appeared and we were able to disembark. San and Rika waved us away with cheerful grace, and I wondered quite what they had made of our conversation. Yep, just trolling some giants. Get it? Because trolls and giants are... yeah. Okay, let's see what else we can get here. Yeah, let's buy a hat. And a wind... yeah, I'm just buying all the crap. What now? Why the heck is there buffalo hide here? I am not buying any freaking North Pole buffalo hide. Like, that seems nuts. Okay, as I walked the streets of Tromsø, pleasant enough perambulation thanks to the dramatic slopes in the glacial lagoon. There is a university. Ooh, I love universities. I cannot think who would endure such cold just to read books. I met a Mademoiselle Fleischer, who stopped me on the street to ask without irony if it was a pleasure for one such as myself to visit her city. You mean as a Frenchman? Because I am real French. Again, I imagine this character as, like, Algerian, but, you know, that's, like, like born in France to Algerian parents. That's my headcanon backstory. But, of course, Tromsø is the Paris of the North. Okay, that's interesting. We have been promised a liaison between our cities for many years now. Who else would you be? Tromsø is the second capital of Norway, you know. Mademoiselle, I'm traveling around the world. Yeah, sure, it's Paris, lady. And she all but skipped down the cobbled streets, let go my arm, which were nothing like boulevards. Oh right, already tried to buy buffalo hide. Let's see where I can go. Sure, let's go to Smearenburg. Pet Liam did not go there. Yes, sirree. Because, yeah. Another impressive thing about this game is that there are like 200-ish cities in here, which is a lot. I only visited about 15 of them on my last playthrough, not in real life. Why do I keep trying to buy that buffalo hide? Right, sleep. Yep. Come on, doesn't sleeping in a hotel make you... Okay, sleeping in a hotel does make your thingies go up. I'm going to bed. Yeah, it's already 6:40, so let's try to at least get to the whatchamacallit, international date line. Yep, higher extra space. Hey, we're only losing 4 hearts. I've arranged transport for us, Monsieur Fogg said, cool as a cucumber. Where are we headed? We are going north. He took a sip of tea. Very north. How far north? Smearenburg. Yeah, I know we're going to Smearenburg. I just said that, man. Come on, keep up, Phileas. Yeah. Smearenburg, he said, showing me the location on his almanac. I'm pretty sure an almanac is like crop forecasts, man. Learn your almanacs, Fogg. But yeah, I think we're going to the North Pole. But should we not be heading east? Sometimes, Passepartout, he said slowly, the best way to untie a knot is not to untie it at all. Sometimes one must simply slice through it. Ah, the Alexandrian solution. Sure, I murmured. Though, monsieur, if you are Alexander the Great, does that make me his loyal steed Bucephalus? Yep. That was his horse. Sure, I'll say that because I know who Bucephalus was. You are a valet, Passepartout, not a beast of burden, he said primly, he added. He built monuments to Bucephalus, you know. Well, that's nice. At least this dude's not, like, awful. He's just kind of jerky. That's a good balance, I think. Just a little bit jerky. Like the kind of guy who has a valet who makes all of his travel arrangements around the world. Here, have some wool trousers. Have some cracker biscuits. Have some dates and figs. He doesn't like them. Okay, I don't know what that did. Oh, that Steam notification just popped up, didn't it? Oh dear. Well, now y'all know what Jala's doing. The captain of our balloon was a dark-browed woman by the name of Yana Starostina. What exactly is it you hunt? Whales, walruses, reindeer. Not walruses. They have mustaches. Even polar bears sometimes. Are you also a hunter? I inquired with a glance at the livid scar across her cheek. I was once, she said. Equably. Isn't it equitably? Okay, I've never seen that word before. Good for me. Maybe I will be again, once my little ones have grown. It would be very impossible to allow myself to be eaten by a walrus just now. That's very funny. This game is also really good about just putting women in roles of, like, captains and pirates and officials. Yeah, it does that thing that some steampunk literature does where it just pretends that the Victorian era wasn't defined by racism and sexism and just enjoys the fun clothes and steam cogs and stuff. And Victorian politics, which is fine. Little problematic, but, you know, I am not going to get into that whole hornet's nest, but suffice to say there have been many an essay written about it. I asked our passion if there were many people here in the north. There are enough to start an argument. That's a good answer. More than enough for that. And then we were sinking lower, and we watched a whaling ship bring in a bleeding leviathan from the sea as we settled down to land. Ah, whaling. I am in roaring health, but we must make haste. We still have 4,000, so we're doing real good on money. So we're going to explore and try to find a way out of here. Miasma that hung thick and grim and unaccountably oily over the settlement. I took a few deep breaths, trying to accustom myself. Make the best out of it. It's Wales, a nearby fellow put it sagely, in Finnish-accented English. Sure, that's how they talk in Finland. Of course, Wales, I snorted. The man pointed at several copper kettles nearby. They were set into brick ovens belching black smoke from their chimneys. They render the whale blubber here for oil and fuel. You become accustomed to the smell. I introduced myself to him. I am Vitki Junkin. You don't look like seal hunters or snugglers. Snugglers. So what are you doing here? We are going around the world. Oh, you are adventurers, he pronounced, with a generous sneering of disdain. I had hoped, perhaps, that you were geologists. We are travelers, not adventurers. No, screw that. I want to know why he wants a geologist. That seems like a crazy thing for Iceman to want. It is the Arctic, he shrugged. After hunters and adventurers, scientists are the most common breed. So what is your purpose, then? I am an artificer. Oh, there's a guild outpost here? I'm imagining these are something like the Masons in medieval time, but they do steampunk-like gear magic. No, that's in Virgo. Nearby as these things go, I am here on expedition to the North Pole, it happens, he said casually enough. Monsieur Fogg's demeanor altered entirely. You don't say, he remarked. My good fellow, let me buy it, whatever it is they drink here. Hopefully it doesn't contain whales, but I'm waiting to see his response. Oh, I'm dependable now. That's lovely. I don't know what those traits do, but I'm assuming that if you have the right trait in the right scenario, you get a thingy. Yeah, I'm going to buy a compass. And a tot of rum. And a set of false teeth. Never know, man. You never know. Let's hotel it. Hopefully someone will help us get out of here. So I walked the streets. I need to find a way out of here, man. I could not stop thinking of the North Pole. It was a dream, a myth as much as any real place. It was one of my dreams, too. What child had not read the stories of Franklin's lost expedition of 1845 and imagined themselves finding his ship perfectly preserved, of sailing into the pure white and making something unknown known? These were my thoughts at the moment my master returned. Passport 2, he announced, slurring the words ever so slightly. We are going to the North Pole. I will prepare some hot water. After all, what else was there to say? Woo! Going to the North Pole, yeah! Okay. Yeah, we're going to the North... Whoa! Minus 70. Yeah, higher extra space. Okay, well, let's clear out some stuff. Probably don't need this Indian airship table. Oh, wait. Oh, the market's closed. Okay. Oh, yeah, here's a little thing you can do. There's a little fast-forward button. Why isn't the market open? I'm going to sleep another day to see if the market opens. Maybe there's no market. I did not think of that. Wait. Okay, there's no market. I just wasted a day. Screw me. Okay, but let's check this out. Probably don't need that. Probably do need that. I'm gonna keep that. Don't need false teeth or crackers or I'll try to keep biscuits. Can only take 2 things. I definitely want a compass, so we'll lose the biscuits and keep the rum and lose the scarf. So, of course, there's an inventory limit going to the North Pole. Wait, 3 suitcases. Oh, well, I already sold the stuff. Alright, now this is really going to hurt Mr. Fogg's hearts. But we'll make do. I confess I gaped like a simpleton when Monsieur Jacques showed us the enormous contraption that would lead us to the polar expedition. We call it the Ice Walker, he said. That sounds like a cool wizard, he said, patting one of his enormous metal skis attached to the machine's undersides. What a practical name. Fur. We want fur. So, who designed this thing? She is the result of years of work and hundreds of artificers' ingenuity and sweat. Oh, this is the same guy. Monsieur Junkin said, unable to keep the pride from his voice. Is this the Guild's first polar expedition? No. Even this expedition is quite secret. You took a pair of strangers. Strangers in Smearburg are at the very edge of the world. Besides, you can hardly tell anyone if we fail, and we won't intend to keep it a secret if we succeed. Mr. Fogg cleared his throat. Let's go aboard, Passepartout. His eyes looked overly bright. No, not fevered, but eager. It was unsettling to see him like this. It was the mask of his cool indifference to the triumphs and disasters that had beset us. Oh good, I can brush his face. I imagine I'm combing his mustache. I could not help but wonder, but we would find the North Pole. Let's rub his face. Yep, we gotta keep combing his face so that we can get there in time. Oh dear, I'm coming up on time pretty soon. Whoever is next, just let me know when you're ready, and I will jump off. Marvelous. A lone artificer in a small hangar jutted up from the icy beak at the ice walker. What a vulgar contraption. I quite agree with you. Wait, no I don't. I don't know why I clicked that. I am Solomon Auguste Andrei. I propose we take my balloon all the North Pole, but the Council requisitioned it as mere support and ordered me to stay behind. Did you design the balloon? Of course. Why? What have you heard? I remained silent as though I had a secret. I had my balloon manufactured privately without guild approval because they are all old-fashioned has-beens. They've had it out for me ever since. His frustration, if what he said were true. Still, I wanted no part of internal artificer politics. Monsieur Jockin appeared at my side and pulled me back to the ice walker with only a tight-lipped look at Monsieur Andre. Surely we should take every engineer we can. Too many chefs can royal a soufflé, Passepartout, Monsieur Jockin replied, I think attempting a French idiom. And Monsieur Andre is hardly around. I'd say even he was obsessed. Pole mad. I fear my master is as well. Oops, Fogg did not like it when I was talking bad of him. At breakfast, Monsieur Jockin introduced us to our fellow expeditionists. I paid particular attention to Raja Juho. Sure. Okay, let's keep it up. Yeah, I gotta stop soon, so let's try to get to the North Pole at least. We are passengers, paying ones. Quite all right. Put your claws away, Raja. The two paid the cost of hiring Mizensky and his Pomer hunters. The artificers hunters were not exactly research scientists. How did you become an artificer? Well, that couldn't go great. That's what you get when you select dialogue options without actually reading. Sure, we'll tunnel through the ice. I'm gonna grab this salty, weird sailor artificer man. We scuttled up the ice face like some kind of weird mechanical crab. I was shaken by this. Yeah, this game really is at its best when you can roleplay a bit more than I am doing. Yeah, brush his face so he doesn't die of freezing. Good, good. We might as well have skied across the moon. I like that image. Though if we had, at least we would have known people were looking up at us. Out here, we were vanished entirely and moved as ghosts across the wastes. Behind us are the little clustered lights of civilization, and only unrelieved whiteness lies ahead. Honk, honk. Brush his face. Trumpet bath. I continued my duties. A man's shave is a sacred thing, Passepartout, he told me as I bent the razor to his neck. I stayed silent, focused. Yep. Yeah, there is a good balance between purple prose and just kind of workmanlike, and then this happened writing. The writing I found is unobjectionable to sometimes good. You know, good game writing. It's not going to win any kind of book prize, but it should win some kind of game book prize. I'm just clicking random things right now. Game book prize. Sure, we're going to go from the North Pole to Honolulu. Gastown? Whatever. Talk a lot, don't you? Yeah, sometimes people you meet in conversation will tell you new routes. Other times, they will not. And you just kind of guess. Yeah, I don't want to see gross stuff. I'm going to go to the meteorological labs. I made a... let's nod. But she did not throw me out. How nice of her. God, yeah, it's really honking a lot, isn't it? It's funny how you can brush his mustache to keep him from starving. Okay, I think this means that some young guy is going to hook up with Mr. Fogg. I'm going to guess. Yep, okay, that's interesting. I guess Mr. Fogg is a queer individual. That's a nice little twist on the character. Right, I mean, of course he would be if you could hook up with him. Duh. I just didn't think he would be hooking up with other people. Yeah. Yeah, I hold myself over. I will remember that. Yeah, you gotta help your friends. After all, that's why we're all here raising charity money for people to help them. Good. Yeah, I should get a job. Job doing this. Sorry, I don't mean to be overly self-effacing. I know that's an annoying thing that people do when they're just off the cuff. Apologizing for apologizing. That's new. Cloudberry pie. That sounds delicious. A fine berry, the cloudberry. It grows only on the edges of swamps, and generally only the kind of swamp that does not advertise where exactly those edges are. It is not uncommon, I'm told, for novice cloudberry pickers to lose a boot as they collect. But I digress. Eavesdropping the argument. Are we hopelessly lost? Perhaps it was sabotage. Oh, I don't know. Yep, bribed a dude to see what's up with this sabotage. Does anyone remember who's next? Because I don't. Well, hopefully they'll show up. If not, I'm happy to keep playing. But I'm sure they'll be here. Oh, it was Overwatch. That's right. Yeah, so I'm sure that will be starting. I can stop whenever you guys want. Spider automatons. Yep, Overwatch. I like my porridge salty. I actually do think savory porridges are are really an underrated meal. I mean, don't do like a rolled oatmeal for a savory one, because I mean it's mush anyway. You should be doing like steel cut oats at least, or like there are lots of other grains that can make a really lovely savory porridge. Oh no, we got stranded at the North Pole. That's really bad. Let's rub his mustache. Oh no. Ugh. I bet bringing that other artificer guy, yeah, I bet he sabotaged the dealie. They expect vengeful whales. It would be great if this were actually vengeful whales. Yep. Oh man, I'm gonna die. A little Captain Oates moment. I called after her, but she did not look back. I looked around at the thin, ice-rimmed faces of the other survivors and wondered how long it would be before another one of us gave up. Simply gave up and walked out into the snow. I even wondered whether it would be me, and then had to laugh helplessly at my own melodrama. No, not yet. I was not there. I looked down at my master's too pale and shivering form and tried desperately to think how I could help him. The apprentice navigator I once bribed. Gives me a tonic. Thank you. The sky was ablaze when I awoke. Spectacular streamers of emerald green and bruised purple and flush pink. The aurora borealis, a nearby artificer, whispers in awe. It is magnificent. It seemed to me as though the sky itself was singing us its goodbye. Once more I sought to aid my master, but there was nothing else I could do to help. So I simply sang to him as many soft nursery songs as my mind could recall. It helped not at all. Day 33, and we were not moving. Yep. I no longer truly remember what it is like to be warm. Perhaps I have never truly been so. The memories seem so fragile. They spin away like dust, like snow. There has only ever been this. Cold that has not enough mercy to numb. Wind that howls like a pack of wolves on the hunt. Yep. I thought of Maman today. Her strength as she picked me up and flung me in the air. The surety I had that she would catch me once more. I wondered what she would do, tossed out into the stark and barren landscape. Would she start to walk in the direction her feet should lead? Would she find water and try to swim? Maman, if I find some strange and wild chance, you should come to read this. Think of me in Paris. A dappled late afternoon by the Seine, smoking gauze and winking at pretty tourists. Think of me with love, and think of you now in this endless Arctic night. As for his life, well, let us instead be thankful for toes. Monsieur Fogg and I have been sleeping curled against each other since the disaster. I try desperately to press some small warmth into his body. I'm so afraid for him. These barriers of propriety are strong, very nearly unto death, but I no longer dare to split lies into the face of death. Let's go with I love him. I have loved him for a long time in the gaps between words and in the hesitations that linger on the tongue. If we survive, I will tear these pages out. I will burn them and burn these very thoughts from my mind. I will be satisfied only to see him raise his left eyebrow and comment upon the temperature of the tea. There's a strange black streak across the horizon. I can hear the others murmur. An airship, but I do not believe them. A collective hallucination from people driven beyond hope, beyond reason, beyond hearing. I do not truly believe until I see Madame Juho standing on the desk. Need a ride? She shouts, her voice familiar and mocking, and I turn to Monsieur Fogg. We are saved. Okay. See if we hit the North Pole. I'm going to call it, I think, when we hit that. So, to say what happened then, the injured Monsieur Fogg included, we were whisked away by the medics. We were wrapped in blankets with brisk efficiency and given steaming cups of broth. Madame Juho stood with an older man in a blue semi-gakti and reindeer fur coat, their silhouettes framed by the observation windows. You saved us, I said. Thank you. The man merely made a disgusted sound. If Raja had done her duty correctly, you would not be here. Duty? What duty? I was supposed to make sure that the expedition did not make it to the North Pole, Madame Juho responded evenly, fingering her copper lily brooch. I adjusted the instruments to push us off course, but I had nothing to do with the wreck. Why should I believe you? You're alive, aren't you? All of which is moot, Juho, the man interjected, as you have failed resoundingly. I could not let them die out there, she replied, sounding uncharacteristically chastened. I applaud that decision, madam, I declared weakly as I cast a glare at the older man, and Madame Juho laughed desultorily. Passepartout, she stiffened. This is my father, Ivor Juho, semi-representative to the Council of Circumpolar Northern People. Madame Juho looked out the window with my breath. We have arrived. I looked out the window. A city rose up out of the pale mist, an alchemical dream of glass and copper and bone, interconnected tents of reindeer skin. Tangled trees? Yeah, we'll do... Oh, man, they're doing the thing where like at this period, they believed that the North Pole was this verdant paradise. Ah, that's great. Welcome to the North Pole, Madame Juho said, subdued, to the sacred city of Crowapocalyptic. Okay, gonna stop when the dot gets there. I guess. Okay, are the next folks ready? This is a good stopping point. Let's see, looking at my thingy. No one's saying anything in the Slack. Alright, well, I guess I'll just, keep poking around until, somebody says something. It does look cold, but, you know, see, there's some trees, like, there and there. Like, weird ice. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to smile and nod. I almost died freezing to death. The first. I heard the bitterness of old hurts. Yeah, let's get into this. Will you be in much trouble? Oh dear, getting called to the council. Yeah. Well. Yeah, I'm going to look for transport. Try bribing. Wait, why am I going to try bribing somebody? That doesn't make any sense at all. That was a terrible idea. Yep. Gonna sleep some more. Come on, little hearts, go up. Okay. The council met. Yeah, I'm gonna stand near Mr. Fogg. Okay, so him speaking Turkish, I think that's some kind of linguistic reference to a thing. I remember hearing something about connections between far northern indigenous languages and Turkish. It's been a long time. Okay, they're saying 5 to 10 minutes? Cool, I'll just keep going for now. Oh no, they're just speaking Turkish, I guess. Oh, well, why Turkish? Turkish is the official language of the Artificers Guild. Okay. All right. So here we're getting into some of the political steampunky stuff. I mean, I haven't said enough of this to make any kind of real judgment. I don't. But no, it's great that they bring this stuff into the game and let us have both a fun Victorian adventure while also not ignoring the uglier side of the period. But I question the exact way they're going about it. But again, I need to play the game more before I can say anything smart about it. Ooh, international unionists. Let's see what's going on there. Do you support them? If they succeed, then we will be at war with half the world. I'm too practical to court war. Her eyes gleamed. For now, anyway. There was a sudden hubbub and a loud announcement. I heard some of the expeditioners gasp, and the tremulous smiles on a few faces. What did the council say? Passepartout, I am sorry. What did they say? You will be our guests until the council is ready to announce itself to the world. I shook my head in despair. I demanded the chance to plead our case. I've seen your tongue in action, Passepartout, she declared coldly. I have no doubt you might convince the council to do something against its interests. I will not help you. Not again. Yep, is this game over? Non-standard game over? Well, let's see what happens. We're only at day 43. Maybe we can do something cool. Monsieur Fogg. I placed a finger to his lips. Oh, he placed a finger to his lips, and at his unspoken command, I quietly gathered up our bags and followed him to the ice-packed streets. We are not staying here, Passepartout, he told me, and pointed at a pair of dark airships out west of the city. We'll have to wager to win, and that is our way out. Oh, we're stealing an airship, like in Sunless Sea, where you steal the Pentecostal apes airship that they're using to sail east and like find the resting place of the god Salt. I think that's what's going on. Could be wrong. Yeah, we're going to commandeer the vessel. We'll improvise. Always go left. That's what I say. I think you can fail a run, but I think that usually just happens by, if I were to guess, I think that happens by going over the 80-day time limit, or maybe there are certain events that screw you over too. Again, why am I talking like I know anything about this game? This is literally already over like a third of the amount of time I've ever played this game you all have seen. So, I have no idea about anything. Okay, we're getting out of here. To Gastown. Embark. Good thing I bought those boots, huh? Let's join the crew. Whew. Let's brush that mustache. Please come out, a voice called. We know you're in there. Yeah, I'm gonna go like... Are you ill? It demanded. Don't worry, you're safe with us. Monsieur Fogg took matters into his own hands and opened the door. Middle-aged Nanette's woman stood at the head of a small troop of guards. I am Captain Ein Venuito. The woman grinned, her dark eyes glinting. And you two are aboard my beautiful ship. She is a wonderful vessel indeed. Isn't she? Captain Venuito sighed. She's the most aerodynamic ship we've ever built. She was designed at good old-fashioned circumpolar engineering, she agreed, slapping a nearby bulkhead. I summoned all of my courage. Where is, pray, our destination? We're headed to Gastown in Canada. I see no need to alter course, do you? Indeed not. Now, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, that Gastown is not a real place in Canada. I think that might be a fictional city, like, created by the writers of this video game. That is... maybe? Indeed not, Captain, I replied heartily, a grin spreading under my fine mustache. Well then, the captain continued briskly, let's get you a proper cabin and a good meal. It's roast seal tonight, and cook's an absolute marvel with seal. Fun fact, if you eat a polar bear's kidneys, you'll die from a vitamin A overdose, because vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin, and there's a whole bunch of it in the kidneys, and your body can't just excrete fat-soluble vitamins, so it'll, like, really screw you up. So that's another piece of advice. Don't take too many A vitamins. That's actually what killed my wife's grandmother. But she was crazy. Like, schizophrenic, literally. That's a long... That's off topic. Anyway... Remember to pocket watch? Okay. Yep. Doing the mustache, yeah. Acrid spirits? Yeah, I'm drinking that. I mean, just because I am a recovering alcoholic in real life does not mean that I will not drink in a video game any chance I get. Because it makes for interesting stories. Do you have a husband or wife, Captain? See, I like how they're not making any assumptions about characters, or more specifically, how they don't really seem to be options supporting Passport 2 as having a sort of conservative viewpoint about relationships and such. I really think you should call me Ein rather than Cap. Ein? Ein? I want to say Ein. Whatever, if you're going to ask it. Okay, I'll use that name. You're quite young, don't you think? She thinks I'm hitting on her. I'm just going to try to de-escalate that. And I have been cold for several days, I replied. She kisses me on the cheek before slipping away. Is that a brush off? Hope so. Mr. Fogg is the only man for me. I mean, the way he makes those wagers. It's great. Right? I mean, there is something really romantic about a man who would make a bet to go around the world in 80 days. I can totally ship these two, honestly. Yeah. Makes sense to me. Let's find out what Gastown is like. It's full of drunks and fur traders. I have little to do with them, and I advise you to do the same. We tethered smoothly and disembarked onto the sweet, blessed land. Good luck, Passepartout, Captain Venuito called in parting. the magnetic compass could earn us money here. See, I thought that would have helped us find the North Pole or something. 400, yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm doing fine on money. This should get us across the states, no problem. But yeah, let's buy some dice, cotton flour. Might go to Calgary. That seems probable. Oh man, I forgot to... This would be a great time to bring out my gun, which is a replica of a Colt Peacemaker from, I don't know, I guess around this period, maybe a little earlier. I don't know. But it's a replica, and not a real gun. I'm not the kind of person who would own a real gun. You know, that's the same buffalo hide I could have bought in Helsinki. Man, that stuff gets around. Gastown is the historic heart of Vancouver. Are we in Vancouver? Just curious. Oh, yeah. I think we are. Oh. That's new. I guess it wasn't a thing the writers of this game just made up. I wouldn't be surprised if the people who made this game were from Vancouver. Seems like one of those Vancouver games, you know? It was named after one Gassy Jack, a Yorkshire steamboat captain turned barkeep. Served as a drinking hole for loggers and fishermen from inland, as well as sailors and air crews of ships drawn to the Burrard Inlet for trade. It was a rough and ready sort of place, and I was in the mood to enjoy it. After all, I had been captured by a weird Arctic civilization of artificers. I'm going to talk to a fisherman. Yeah, fishermen are fun, and I think I do a better fisherman voice. Gold rush lunatics, he espoused. They sail around in pirates made of old nets and paper mulch. It's a wonder the fish don't drag them down. Sounds most unsafe. I agreed, and I did not fail to get the exact details of the routes they took nonetheless. The one luxury in town was its distributed steam heating system. Steam hissed warmly through the grates in the town's pavements, and even powered a steam clock. Now, a steam clock, I don't know. Ooh, I'm courageous now. I don't know. But a steam clock does not seem the most useful. Oh, that was all true? I think it was a good voice. Yeah, that seems like the kind of thing that would be true. I'm not going to San Francisco. Yeah, I'm going to Calgary. Let's see if we can alter... Oh, so the railman whistle from our railwaymen said to change their minds. I love the image there, by the way. It's like, oh, you say you have a train whistle? Why, we'll change the train schedules for you, sir. Wait, yeah, I'm not paying the extra money to... yeah, I'll do some minor alterations to our clothing. I want Fogg to love me, yo. Although, do you get him to love you by being a good valet? Or do you get to love him by showing him that you are in fact his equal? That's what I wonder. Well, we'll find out. Well, we won't, but I will, and then you will, because if you've been watching this game, I hope I've convinced you to play it, because it seems real good. Ooh, I wonder if this will put our hearts over 100, because we're losing 12 and gaining 16. Probably not, because, you know, 100 is generally the most you can have of a thing. That's what I think. Oh, the makers are English. That's good to know. Meg, Jay, and Nat. There's a GDC talk. I should listen to that. I was actually just watching some GDC talks this morning, and I like the ones where they don't talk about graphics programming and processors. Okay, anyway. So we're going around the world. I hope when I'm responding to chat, I'm accurately summarizing what the person in chat said and not just half summarizing and then continuing onward. Railway isn't owned by the government or a private company, but by the Blackfoot Confederacy. This is First Nations territory, so no smoking, no liquor, no firearms. Okay. Why would there be no smoking? Let's see if I can get from Calgary to Winnipeg. Oh, and if I can just... Yep, the engine's impressive. Let's find out what's that about Winnipeg. Doesn't know anything about Winnipeg. Yeah, let's try to stay in Canada. No banks in Regina. Good to know. And pay for cotton flowers in Quebec City. So we're meeting with a prospector. Just going to Regina. He goes where his wandering feet take him. I'd love to take a train across Canada. Doesn't that sound nice? I wonder if there are trains that run across Canada. Oh, if there are, they're probably as expensive as stupid Amtrak trains, which are just... Man, those are expensive. Now I want to go to Calgary. Let's see what's in Calgary. Vodka? Sure, we'll buy vodka. I don't feel... We might go to Ottawa or Quebec City. Field glasses, sure, we'll grab that. I'm not going to Russia. Oh, and some more false teeth. Yeah, I could see going to Ottawa or Quebec. Wait, what happened? Hey. Yeah, let's go straight to Winnipeg. Let's see. 600 bucks. No way, good sir. Okay, so we'll just explore a little bit. Oh, hello. A secondary route. What could this be? Toronto? Apparently we've been banned from ever returning to Calgary. So what happened? Misunderstanding. It began with a punch. I neither threw the punch, nor was I in its path, but I did unfortunately happen across an alley in time to witness it. It was 3 against 1, an unfair fight, and the victim went down on with a hard thump, birds playing on the wall. That looks like a typo. But there's a lot of text in this game. I thought I spied a pried loose tooth. Am I just going to get a tooth? Okay, First Nations men, dressed in a coat, jacket, and cowboy boots. I drew my gun because, well, this is DuckSpring after all. It was moderately successful. Yeah, no, I'm fighting these dudes. Oh, your first name is Jean. Right. You know, I feel like they didn't actually say that, but that would make some stuff from my first playthrough make a lot more sense. Well, well, well. Looks like we got here just in time. Stupid of you boys to go after one of my interpreters and beat up a white man besides. I bristled a little at that racist implication. The men were in the wrong for attacking 3-on-1, not because their victim was white. I did not care to find myself in solidarity with one of such opinions, and decided to defend my attackers. You have it wrong, monsieur. This is a misunderstanding. The 3 rough-looking white fellows chuckled and rolled their eyes. Goddamn Canadians, one of them muttered. No idea how to treat the natives. Goddamn Americans, I asked back. imitating his tones and adding a disdainful entirely without class. My erstwhile attackers were looking at me with outright amazement on their faces, though I have no idea whether it was because they thought me brave or unutterably stupid. Probably the latter. I opened my mouth to continue my tirade. "Shut your mouth, white man," he whispered. Oh no, sorry. The man nearest me elbowed me in the ribs. "Shut your mouth, white man. You're going to get us all killed." "They wouldn't dare." "Be on your guard. These men are not to be trusted." The Americans turned out to be whiskey traders. And the fellow who had been jumped was a Cree man that they used as a go-between. Apparently, he'd been trying to sell liquor illegally to some of the First Nations teenagers at the nearby reservation and been caught out by a group of concerned, angry parents. Oh, trying to sell liquor to underage people? Ooh, teens, man. Yeah, sure. I don't know. I just want to get out of this with my head still on. They come and sell their poison to our children and young people. They profit off destroying lives. And this is what you have to say? They shook their heads. A bottle of whiskey is more dangerous than a fist or a bullet. He waved my Swiss and Wesson at me carefully out of my... How did he wave? Did he get the gun? I missed that. Oh, still waiting for Sporky? It's cool. It's cool. Maybe I can get around the world in 80 days. If I can get to Ottawa, then we might be able to see... Ottawa. I don't know why I said Ottawa. If we can get to the freaking coast. Maybe up to Newfoundland. I looked at... Yeah, the guy they were beating up. You know, he's at least a native person, so... And he was selling the thing. Anyway. I'm just going to dive behind a crate. Oh, man, we both dived behind a crate? A bullet? He shot at me! I cried, feeling rather chilled at the prospect. Mon Dieu, this was getting serious. The youth cast an unreadable look and scrambled to his feet. He ran over to the whiskey traders as fast as his feet would carry him. And I didn't blame him in the least. But something tumbled out of his pocket and landed a rectangular device. Gee, I'm going to grab that. The whiskey traders marched away with their charge, and by the time I dusted myself off, the Tsutsuna men made themselves scarce as well. All that remained was yours truly in an alley with bullet shells and blood splattered in the dirt, which, of course, when the Northwest Mounted Police arrived and arrested me, I was released in a matter of hours. I gave Mr. Dog a full accounting of my actions. I think he said after a rather chilly sentence that we have quite worn out our welcome in the city, Passepartout. It's past time to be on our way. So the mystery device will sell well in Ottawa. Apparently, even though I've been kicked out of the city, I still have to sleep. Yeah, let's wash some linen. Nah, let's go to Winnipeg. Yeah, no, man, in America, just having like a railman set, like, let me, like, change the train departure times for free. In Canada, they're all like, yeah, cool, you have a whistle, but that you don't have the hat. Let's read some newspaper. Last time I got a notification that I crossed the date line. I guess I was like, I crossed it at the North Pole. Duh. Bowls of soup. I drifted toward the table. Leather jacket. This seems a little bit... A stylish leather jacket, that seems... I don't know, a little anachronistic. Floating village. Ooh. Does it float? Some say it's a myth, a village that floats in the sky, but look! The man completely ignored me, pointing out of the carriage window and garnering the interest of several on them. It was seen near Regina by someone on this very train only this morning. I'm pronouncing it vagina because that's how you say it in Latin. Who saw it? I mean, I'm not stopping there, but I'm curious in the story. I'm just gonna eat. Let's see what Winnipeg is like. Do you wish to disembark here, Mr. Falk? A capital idea. Okay, I guess we're going to the floating village. Oh. The dullest city I ever visited. Not its fault. Let's see, we have anything else sell good in the market. Ooh, let's grab the Air Traveler set. I already have some vodka and a walrus tooth. Yeah, don't need anything else. Good, we'll be okay, so completing sets lets you negotiate the times of certain departures. Now I want to go to Winnipeg, dog. That's 2 days. Actually, I'm running up on my 80 days. Let's just go to Toronto. Ah, but my air gear set. Nah, that's a crazy looking airship. That ship don't look lightly to me, man. Let's just wait through it. Ooh, the newspaper says I'm dapper. Why, thank you. Just wait until you see my stream later tonight. I will be super dappered out for that one. Crimson Petal. See, I love the airship names. They are great. But I know... yeah, let's see. Ooh, the weird little device. Oh, log off. All right. Well, I guess we'll never find out the mystery of what the weird box is. Thank you for listening. Overwatch is up next, where you'll get to see some sexy, sexy characters shoot each other. Brought to you by Blizzard. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to stop streaming now.